Hello everybody, this video will be my 5 tips to get the most out of your Surface Pro 7. Don't forget to like and subscribe. One of my favorite ways to use this computer is to hold it in portrait mode. Now, I had always grown up using like a gaming laptop, which was basically a desktop that would fold up. It wasn't always the best, so I had been using this tablet, even in tablet mode, like widescreen for the longest time, and I didn't even think to check it out in portrait mode because I just figured it would be too narrow and too skinny, and I didn't really understand until I started actually using it what the benefits could be. But it is now my preference when it comes to surfing the web, or really anytime I'm using this thing as a tablet where I'm not watching something specifically, I'm using it in portrait mode. It's way better for email. If you're Googling something, you get way more results on the screen. And you benefit, I find, a lot more from that browsing experience than you would from the extra width. One of the best ways to take advantage of using your Surface Pro as a tablet, especially when you're sitting in funky positions, is to use the options. If you flick the bottom right part of your screen to the left, it opens this menu which allows you to hop between tablet mode and full-on Windows. You can change your screen brightness, you can lock your screen, which if you've had an iPhone or a cell phone, you know how valuable that can be when you're lying in bed or lying on your side. And if you don't know about this menu, you need to start using it because it's so handy. You can jump in and out of tablet mode. You can use all sorts of valuable settings, and they're all nice, kind of bigger, chubbier buttons, as opposed to trying to touch all the little settings that you would normally accurately be able to do with a mouse. So it just it makes it a lot easier to take advantage of any kind of setting that you might want to adjust, so that you could kind of tailor your tablet experience to whatever setting you're in, whether you're on an airplane or just sitting on your couch. It also gives you a chance to screen snip, which if you're not using, you should start to use. Like if you've ever print screened your screen before and then opened up like MS Paint so that you can save it as a JPEG so that you can show somebody what you're talking about, man, you're living in the past. You got to start using this, and it just makes it, when you're in tablet mode, it makes it so simple. You just draw that box across whatever you want to take a screenshot off, and boom, you got yourself a handy little photo you can share with all your friends. Tip number 3, using different keyboards. So one of my favorite things over an iPad with the Surface Pro is that you can actually switch to different styles of touch keyboard that you can use on your tablet. So if you got smaller hands, you can switch to the keyboard that has half the keyboard on the left and half the keyboard on the right, and it's once you get the hang of it, you can fly. Like, you can actually type really quickly with this. You also have a small style of keyboard that you can convert to when you're looking to use one hand. So you can let's say you're holding it with one hand and then you're using your thumb to type everything in. It can be kind of handy in certain situations. It also takes up less of the screen, so if you want to be able to see what you're doing a little bit better, and there's certain situations where you'll see this comes in handy, you can use that keyboard. And then obviously there's the regular one. Now there's the settings at the bottom that you can have the keyboard free. So if you're ever typing something in and the keyboard is actually taking up space on the screen, you can drag it and move it around so that you can see what you're typing. You don't have to just guess. You can also, the setting at the bottom, if you don't want it dragged anymore, you can have it locked to the bottom of the screen as well. So that's what those bottom screens are for. And this is one of my favorite tools of the Surface Pro, and something that I discovered well into owning it, and I wish I would have discovered sooner because I was not taking advantage of the tablet touch keyboard as much as I could. And I thought this was just kind of genius. Good job, Microsoft. That was awesome. Tip number 4, Microsoft OneNote. Now, I think this is one of the apps that really takes advantage of the Surface Pro and the pen, because you can so easily jump between having a keyboard and just writing or drawing things on Microsoft OneNote. And not only does it sync across all of your devices, like I sync it to my desktop, I have it as an app on my iPhone, and I use it on the Surface Pro. I just feel like it's almost Tony Stark like when you just grab your tablet and then you just start writing in it, like whatever, you open up your fridge, you write in there, yeah, I need eggs, I need milk, I need to get some chocolate almonds, whatever it is. You put your to-do list on there. You can break it up into groups and categories, and it's just, I know it doesn't seem like much, but this Notes app replaced me creating a bunch of untitled Google Docs that I otherwise would have tried to record things on, and it just would have been really unorganized. This was all in one place. For me, it replaced the Notes app for Apple on my iPhone, and then it just syncs up to everything. So, I sit down to work for the day, and whatever I was thinking of while I was on the go is still available to me, and super, super easy. And it's right there. And it's really simple to go from between the pen and typing, because it doesn't force you to use lines. So you could be kind of like writing something sloppily, and then you could click right below it with the trackpad and actually type something in there if you want something more legible. And I just think for me, it was a real game changer. I know this is nothing new, but if you're not using OneNote on your devices, you should give it a try and see if it also changes your life too. Now, if you guys have made it this far, then you're ready for tip number 5, the micro SD expansion slot. Now, this slot is truly hidden on the computer. I own this thing for a year and a half, and I just found it a couple of months ago, and it just blew my mind. I was so happy to find it, because if you ever have any sort of storage problems, you can just buy like a 1 terabyte micro SD. They're not that expensive anymore, and it gives you a lot more mileage compared to 128 gigs or 256 gigabytes. Also, if you're using this on the go and you're a photographer or anything like that, you can just plug it in right away. It's super convenient. It's just hidden right below the kickstand. It's just hidden right underneath it, and you can just throw it in there, and you can add a bunch of storage for yourself. And that's it for my 5 tips on the Surface Pro 7. I found that it took a little bit of learning to kind of get used to it, but once I did, I started loving this computer more and more and more. I really think that it's going to be the future, and I just got an iPad Pro, so I'm going to be comparing it to the iPad Pro, so make sure that you like and subscribe so that you don't miss that video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.